Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. It is October 19th, 2024, and this is Beach Bum with the Tropical Zone Report. And we have two tropical storms out there. We got one down in the Caribbean, one in the Atlantic. We got Nadine and Oscar. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Nadine. Nadine is going into South America. Nadine could possibly do something that storms don't normally do. It has happened before, but not many times. Okay, so there you see a close-up, and she's spinning. Let's go to a further out view. Here's Nadine. Now, it's going to lose intensity as it works across, but here's the thing. They're expecting it to keep some rotation when it goes into the Pacific, and it's going to keep its name. And Pacific storms normally have their own names, but this one will keep the Nadine name. All right, so let's take a look at the official forecast and everything for Nadine. As you see, Tropical Storm Nadine moving into South America. Around here is where they're expecting it to lose its tropical force intensity or hurricane intensity. But let's go look at some other ones. Let's see. The intensity guidance. They are projecting it as it gets across South America into Pacific to keep its rotation and become a tropical storm or possibly hurricane again, and keep its name because it originated in the Atlantic. Something that don't normally happen. Let's look at the spaghetti models here. That one here's a GEFS. And right now, Nadine, here's all your locations on it. It's got a pressure of 1,002 millibars. It's just a tropical storm, but a lot of rainfall, storm surge, and it's going to go out and stay a storm in the Pacific from the Atlantic. All right, and here is Tropical Storm Oscar that just formed this morning in the Atlantic. This is the one that I'm worried about. Could be a possibility for the U.S. Not saying it's going to be. Actually, right now the models say it's not, but we all know models can change. Things change. So this is definitely one to look at for us. Let's take a wider view. Here's Oscar. Here's Nadine. We definitely got some blow-up activity going on here in the Atlantic and in the Caribbean. Let's come over here and take some closer looks at Oscar. Here is the official forecast. You can see they show it is going to be moving into the Caribbean and then moving northeast. Let's hope it keeps that. Right now, I have no problems with that at all. Let's look at some spaghetti models. This is the global. And the only one here that could show possibility of concern for the U.S. is that model there. But, you know, all the rest of them are pointed away from us. I kind of like that. Let's check out the GFS ensemble. And this one has it, bouncing around a little bit down here, not really knowing what it's going to do. It could be going out this way, that way. So the GFS is showing we need to watch this one. Here is the GPS ensembles. And kind of showing the same thing. Wants to bounce around, could come over here over towards South America, could go out in the Atlantic. So yeah, we need to keep an eye on Oscar according to these models. So now let's go take a look at the full GFS models and all that, and the CMC, Icon, and Euro. Here you see down here, there's Nadine, and Oscar is right here. Let's hit play and let her go out. As you see, Nadine's moving off into the Pacific, and Oscar is right here, moving northeast and away from the United States, which I like seeing that. Here we have another tropical invest, but it looks like it's going to kind of follow on up north behind Oscar. The GFS model runs 384 hours out. But then here's one we see coming towards the end. Right there, that just came across the Caribbean. Another one right behind it. This is November 2nd, so as you know, things can change. None of this is road and stone. And it shows pretty much them going east and away from the U.S. by November 4th. So we got activity, things to watch. 2 named storms out there right now. So pray for those people down in South America, and let's pray Oscar stays away from us here in the United States altogether. Let's move to the CMC. See, Nadine's gone out. The CMC's not showing too much with Oscar. This model goes 240 hours out. And here we are at October 29th. And the U.S. is nice and clear. Nadine is gone. And not seeing a whole lot. There are some thunderstorms down here, which that could be what's left of Oscar bouncing around from what we saw on the ensembles earlier. Let's take a look at the Icon. The Icon goes out 180 hours. There's Nadine moving on off into the Pacific. There's Oscar. Oscar's moving on northeast, makes kind of a northern turn. Still, the United States is not being affected by a named storm or system at all, according to this model. And now we are at the end, and it was October 27th. Now let's check out the Euro. Nadine's moving on out. There's Oscar bouncing around, not really knowing what to do. And this is kind of what the ensembles were showing. And now, okay, the Euro only goes 90 hours out. Here's the end. And we see Oscar is bouncing around southeast of Florida, down by the Caribbean. So, yeah, we're going to need to keep an eye on Oscar for the long run. So, as you see, we have two named systems out there right now. One is in the middle of making landfall or getting ready to make landfall here very soon. Tropical Storm Nadine may become a Category 1 before making landfall because it's still kind of out here in the water gaining strength. Just pray for the people down there in South America. Other than that, next week looks good for us. Just keep an eye on Oscar. That's the only potential that I see that could change anything within the next 7 days is Oscar. But for most of the ensembles, they show it going out. Let's just keep it going that way. All right, we'll check back tomorrow. We'll have more updates on these storms and the other systems forming. Thank you to Tropical Tidbits for giving us all this info. And make sure you watch your local weather. Stay informed on any updates going on with your weather. And watch trusted weather people. Until tomorrow, this is Beach Bum with the Tropical Zone Report. Catch you later.